Hey everyone, it's Matt again, and today we're going to talk about Queen Slime and do a very in depth overview on what she does, what she's good at, what she's not good at, and whether or not you should pull. Stay tuned. All right, so I know that in the February March timeframe, I've already gone through her skills, but today we have updated it with the English names, and they're actually a little differently than the translation version. So I'm glad that I didn't try and translate. So let's go with this. So the first one is to increase slime-based martial power by 20% as their leadership. Martial power, is that really good? Sorry, it's not. It is very centered around her and maybe one or two other slimes. It has one slime martial power. And remember, I take a look at the skills. If it doesn't say martial damage, it is not a martial skill. And just to make sure that the martial skills aren't affected by stats, they're only affected by level. So, in order for Queen Slime to do damage, she needs to be high level and most likely have a leadership effect. I don't like the slime based martial power by 20%. I'd rather have a unit that gives a general martial power instead. So, as a leader, I rank her pretty low. She's probably the lowest S rank leader in my mind, even lower than the Hell Gladiator, because at least that poison can be used by other units a lot. This really just affects her and her alone. Alright, so her first skill is called Tug. I expected it to be Attract, but they called it Tug. This is a very, very good skill. It is based on 3 inflicts martial damage and sends the unit 2 squares to you. So it says that this is a debuff unit here with on the slime family, but it really doesn't debuff. What she does is she's a pull tank or an attract tank, or in this case a tug tank, where she will be bringing units to her to try and keep them attacking her instead of your other units. Now, this requires planning, and she has a very specific niche in this regard. So she is very unique. There aren't any units that are really very much like her. So the ending here is going to be kind of tough to go through, but we'll get to there at the end. Her second skill is Glacier. It inflicts crackle type martial damage to all enemies around her, so she is surrounded. She can do some good damage with the martial damage with crackle here. If they're strong against crackle, you're gonna actually have some hard time. She does have tug. Tug does okay damage overall, but all in all, this is her main damage skill. But once again, almost all of this is based off of her level and if the unit's weak against ice. The last one is Icy Chains. It causes large crack martial damage to all enemies, range of 3, and draws the enemy by 1 square. This can be useful for positioning of a couple of units. Sometimes they tend to run away. Also could be useful for, let's say, metal babbles as well, to bring them closer in range so your slower units can get there. Uh, just examples for how how she could be used for annoying battles, but that's where she's going to be. She's going to be a niche unit. Her awakening skill, she gets the occasional MP recovery, which is going to give her enough MP to basically at least be able to tug almost non-stop. So uh, getting a copy dupe of her will basically allow her to attract nonstop, which is all that you're looking for. Uh, Second one gives bang resistance 25, sizz resistance plus 25 on the fourth, and icy chains, as always, plus 5 on the third and fifth dupe. Her level 100 stats, and this is also including all 5 dupes for the 25% up. Her HP is very high at 944, with very good defense at 360. Now, surprisingly, her agility is very high as well at 396. So she has a very high agility, HP, and defense combination. This is the thing that makes her most unique to tanks because they're usually weak in one of the three. The Great Troll has very good HP but poor defense. Squidzilla has very good HP and defense but very poor agility. She has all three. So as a tank, not a damage dealer, but as a tank, I think she's the most versatile. As a damage dealer, she severely lacks. So it's all based on the mindset here. The wisdom almost is meaningless, other than the fact that she is right on the edge and probably just a little too weak to actually put the multi heal on her at 262. If the wisdom and attack were moved just a little bit, she might have been a very interesting unit to have multi heal on, where she could kind of just try to move off in her own absorb attacks, etc. So it could be done, but I think there's better units to use it on. And the attack, as I say, is 275. Her movement's 2, and for arena, her weight is 50. But and I can see some interesting arena teams around her as well. But you have to build very specific for that. Her preferred weapon is, a lot of people will say, the slime dagger. And I won't disagree because it increases slime martial attacks just a little bit. I'm going to go a little different here and go with the Blizzard Blade. Gives crackle potency plus 2%, HP 36, attack 11. If you want to use the other weapon, that's fine. I would rather see her have more HP, personally. Generally, I know it says crackle type physical potency. You're going to probably use this blade between multiple other units and not just a Queen Slime, so still look for that. For her, though, do not look. If you're going to use her an awful lot, don't use her. Don't use the crackle type physical potency. Go for HP and agility. It will make her, especially if you roll 2 gold HPs, you can have her already around 1100 to 1150 HP with 400 and change agility. That is a pretty powerful unit overall in general. So that's kind of why I'm going there. But this is the reason why this guide is late. I've actually had to sleep on this for 2 days to figure out exactly which weapon I think I would have liked better. I don't have her right now, but if I do get her, I would probably put the Blizzard Blade on her. And so that's why I'm giving that as the preferred weapon. The preferred learned skills, to be honest, there's not much out there. And I'm not even sure you really want to give her a skill, but these are the 2 best, Tempest and Hellfire, physical damage. So her pros and cons. And these are going to be actually pretty lengthy here because she has very good pros and very big cons. So it's a very weird unit here. She has the very unique skill set for drawing enemies to you. And I mean, it is an ultra unique skill set. There's a lot of shenanigans you can do with this. And it's hard for me to not highlight this as incredibly hard for that. Her HP and defense combination, along with her agility, is literally unsurpassed for a while for tanks. She has the ability to move out in front to certain, especially certain hell upgrade skill upgrade stages. have some enemies that have good agility, that don't have the elemental that can kind of screw up your plans. She can make sure that she can take that away with her speed and her agility. So, as a tank, she does have uses, but she is very specific. She is a tank. And I know it says, once again, she is a debuff. She is a shield. It's just her skills do things, and that's why they put her in the debuff. Her cons. Her leadership effect is only really good for her. And so as a leader, I think she's the worst S leader in the game right now. It's great for her. It makes her attack more powerful, but you don't want to use leaderships for just one unit unless if it's like a Dragon Lord and you're trying to get 9999 damage. There's no other reason to really use her as a leadership though right now. Her skill set can also cause a lot of trouble for your team on auto. She is just not worthwhile to be used on auto. And all of her skills are martial based, so all of the damage is based off of levels. So really you need some type of martial team with a martial leader to be able to do this damage. So, am I going to pull? I did a small attempt, but I saved my gems, and I hopefully saved my luck as well for God Rider or Slineheart, which will be coming either this week or next week, which is a much better unit, much more useful in all teams, and is actually a key cog and very much meta for physical teams, even currently in Japan. He has barely slide off the meta at this point, but he is still top notch. And as I say, he's still going to be he's still very good in JP. And Queen Slime, some people place her as the worst or in the worst row. I think that's unfair. She is actually, I would put her in her own special category. Because what she does very well. It's just most people are worried about damage in this game, which I understand, or pure support, and she doesn't do any pure support, and her damage is meddling at best. There are A units that actually can provide more damage without setting them up like you need for Queen Slime. But she has that incredibly unique skill set for drawing enemies to you. She has utility that a lot of metalists tend to skip. So if you're free to play, unless if you're doing a slime team, I suggest this as a skip banner. If you are willing to put a little money in and you are doing a slime team, or you're doing some interesting defense shenanigans, then okay and pull her. If you love Queen Slime, obviously, in any gacha game, you use units that you love. Don't always chase the meta. The meta's going to be expensive. So that's my review, and I know you guys, it's not good, and I am sorry, but Queen Slime is, as I say, a unique unit, and in some games, these unique units are the ones to pull for, especially for free to play. But in this game, I can't. I mean, I'm trying to, but I just can't get you. I can't say pull for it if you're free to play. Basically, if you don't love this unit, go ahead and skip. So, travelers, I hope you enjoyed this. This has been one of the harder reviews for me. These are the type of units I usually love to play around with, love to use. I have a hard time seeing this unit to be used a great deal in this game, but I have a funny feeling there's going to be certain battles I wish I had this unit. And it would simplify a lot of harder trials because of that. But I that's all I've got, you guys. So as I said, I know this has been a struggle, so I do apologize for this being late, but this is why. So good luck, safe travels, and enjoy the slime festival. As this gives you 3 good units to use, keep on pushing. Keep on trying to get the units as upgraded as high as you can. There's a lot of good rewards. Please click like and subscribe. There are other videos as well that I have gone over with that will tell you what is very good to go for the Slime Festival here. Uh, this is actually a much better festival than Dragon Quest 1, at least in my eyes, and I hope you guys have a lot of fun, and more importantly, get all the materials that you need for the Slime Fest.